All right, Mailbox Power geniuses, it is time to look at creating a card. Now, so far you've had a general walk through the dashboard, and we talked about how you can receive the free cards I'm going to give you, and then purchase any real estate related niche cards you want to use. I mean, this system has it all. But from time to time, you're going to want to create your own card. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that very easily. A lot of people get scared. Oh, I don't know technology. I don't know how to design. Well, guys, this is so simple. When you see what I'm going to show you, you're going to be amazed. At least that's what I hope. So again, today it's going to be a simplified tutorial on creating a standalone card that you can use for anything. It doesn't even have to be real estate. You might enjoy using this system to also send some really cool cards to family and friends, church members, synagogue, whatever. But let's get into it and find out what we can do to create a card apart from the cards you've purchased or have been given, because you're going to want these from time to time. So inside of Mailbox Power, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and go into the cards. And by the way, Mailbox Power has a really good design menu, but I also couple that with a site called Canva. And if you go to canva.com, I think they have a free trial. I have their pro version. It's only a couple dollars a month, but holy moly, it allows me to do so much with my designs, and you don't need to be a techie to use it. So again, I'm using Canva and I'm using Mailbox Power. I could simply just use Mailbox Power to do all of this, but I find I get more features with Canva. So just a little pro tip. All right, inside of Mailbox Power, you'll see there's a bunch of different cards. I typically use this 5x7 greeting, the 4x6 and the 5x5, and from time to time I'll use the gigagram. Now remember, if you're a pro member, it'll show you what the price is for the card. Now this is without shipping. So the 5x7, the card is 50 cents. If you're a light member, it's $2. So you see the value. But what's really cool about Mailbox Power is the 5x7, you're getting 50 of these for free every month. You just pay the shipping. In this case, it's 55 cents to mail it. So you're sending out 50 5x7s, which is front, interior top, interior bottom, and back. So you're getting that card, 50 of them for free a month, and then they're 50 cents from that point on. And here on the 4x6, you're getting those for free forever. They don't charge you for this. If you send out 1 million of them, obviously you're going to pay a lot of money for postage. Just 37 cents is all it takes to send that card out. And I find that to be rather amazing. I send a lot of the 4x6s out and a lot of the 5x7s. So let's start. Now remember, when I design this, it's the same no matter what card you get. It's just your design has to be bigger. So for simplicity, I'm going to show you how to design a 4x6. And if you're going to design this from scratch, then just simply hit from scratch. And it's going to ask you to start and then name this. So let's assume that you're, instead of having one of the templates where you can send about 50 people at a time or create it and send it, we're going to create this as if we're sending it to one seller. So let's call this card 777 Happy Avenue, Orlando, Florida. And I'm going to call it a 4x6. Now, if this were going to be a card that I created that was not a one-off, I was going to create this card for seller campaigns and I was going to use this card forever, I wouldn't call it that. I would call it seller card Orlando, and then I would probably put today's date 7/17, and then I would put the word template. So that would tell me that this is a card, once I create it, that I'm not going to edit once I do the final edit. This is a card I'm going to make copies of. So again, two different types of ways that you can name this project. If it's a one-off, name it the address, name it whatever you want. If it's a card you're creating that you're going to make multiple copies of, then go ahead and make sure you put the word template, and then that card would go into your archive folder, like we spoke about on another video. All right, once you're done and you've decided how you're going to do it, click Save and Continue. And then what's going to happen is it's going to bring up Mailbox Power's Designer, which is a powerful designer, right? And it's going to give you the ability to upload any photo you want, add text, change the layout, add background colors, blah, blah, blah. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to go over to Canva. And I'm going to, in my account, I'm going to put the word postcard, and then I'm going to hit Create Design. It's going to bring me to this 5x5, 6x4 by whatever. Well, that's not the size I want. So I'm going to hit Resize. And on the first block, I'm going to put 6 by 4 and hit copy and resize. And now it's going to bring me to the actual dimensions that I need for this card, okay? And so on this one, this is where I can go ahead and start creating some amazing designs. So let's just say you're doing a geofarming for a seller. I'm going to go into Photos. I'm going to go ahead and click Pro. I want all of the free Pro cards. And then here I'm going to put cartoon house for sale. Right? And boom, let's just use this one. I like that, right? For sale. So if that's the design I want to be on the front of my card, I'm simply going to come, and guys, I'm not going to get too crazy with design here. I'm just showing you that you've got options. You don't have to start from scratch. But in Canva, all I'm going to do is download this, make it a JPEG, and download it. Now, this is going to take a minute to download. I'm going to go back into my Mailbox Power, the card that I'm designing, and it's ready for me to upload a photo. So I simply go into my download file, and I find that card I just created. And look, guys, look what it looks like. There we go. There's the card. So the reason why I don't put any text inside of Canva, if I put text here and download it, when I come over to here, I can't edit that text. Well, I want to be able to edit the text for future purposes. But here's where I can go ahead and add in some text. So I'm going to add an empty text box. I'm going to go ahead and move that to right here. Right? I'm going to go ahead and change this to, say, 18 inches. And then I might want to change this. I kind of like this Archivio black, but it's got tons of different fonts in there. But here's where I'm going to say the housing market is on fire. Right? And I'm probably going to change that color to red. There you go. The housing market's on fire. If I want to move this around, guys, so once you click out and you've got your text there, if you click on the text, hit the word transform, this is where you can move it around, right? So we'll go ahead and leave that there. And I'll make one change. You know, always check your typos or grammar. The housing market's on fire. And then if I want to duplicate that and not change anything, I just simply come over here to duplicate. And now I can go ahead and redo that text and say whatever I want. So I can bring this down now to say 14, put it down here, go ahead and extend this out. And I might say something like, want to see how much your home is worth, right? So I might do that. And guys, again, I can come over here and change this font at will. I can go to yellow. I can go to black, right? I can do whatever I want. So let's keep it black. Call or text Kelly at again, guys, I'm just creating this off the cuff, right? So again, there's a card. I can change any of this that I want at this point. Now, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to move it up just a hair from the bottom, and I'll probably go down and do a 12 on this, right? So there we go. Perfect. So then I can go to the back, and here is where I can bring in my logo. I can bring in more text. I can bring in, and say whatever I want, and play around with this, guys. So when you create the back message, please understand that as you get close to the postage area, it cuts off the text. And if you go down below the postage area, it lets you go full screen. But again, if you get too close to this text, you can't do it. So you've got a lot of space here to create. If you get too close to this, it'll cut it off. And if you go down here, it'll cut it off. So in this area, you've got a small section. In the middle section, you've got more area that you can deal with. And then on the top section, you've got more error. But just be cognizant of these areas that won't let you put in text. And when you're done, just simply hit, so here I'm just going to put the word test. Okay, and then I'm going to hit that. So when you're done, go ahead and preview your card. Oh, I like that, I can do that. Oh, I like that, I can do that. And then hit save. Now what it's going to do is it's going to save your card. And again, it's going to save it to the active file. Okay, I'm going to return to save projects. I'm going to find it. Now, again, if this card was a one-off, if all I was going to do is send this card to one address, I don't need to send it to archive or make it a template. I will just simply add it to cart, add the homeowner's name and address to where it's going, and click send, and I'll spend 37 cents. But here is the card. In this instance, if for some reason I was going to use this card for multiple homeowners in the next 6 months, I'm just simply going to send it to archive. In archive, I'll rename it seller card 717, and then I'll put the word template. That way I know on July 17th, I created this card for sellers, and it's a template, not to edit the card, but to make copies. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. But again, just a very quick tutorial for you on how you can create cards very, very easily. A lot of times agents are like, Kelly, how do I got your free cards, but man, I just can't get, I can't figure this out. Well, I think that I just made it very simplistic for you. So again, guys, you can go in and create whatever you want. You can use sites like Canva to download some pretty awesome graphics and pictures. And then whatever your purpose is for that campaign, you can create that card and have it literally off and running within minutes of creation. All right, drop some comments below. Let me know what you thought about the video. If you have any other questions, comment below and say, hey, I have a question. And if I have time, we'll set up a Zoom, and hopefully I'll be able to answer those questions. But again, guys, I appreciate you, and get to creating yourself some cards. Here's a really good quick pro tip. Go ahead and create a killer card. Send it to yourself. This way you can see how long it takes to get to you, and you're going to forget the card was sent, and you're going to go to your mailbox and find that card in your mailbox. You're going to be like, oh my God. Remember that, because that's what your client, your end user, that's their result. So when you get that card, if it doesn't wow you, then you know not to use that card. But if you get that card, you're like, wow, this is cool. That's what your client's going to be thinking. All right, guys, I wish you many happy closings, and don't forget, this is your direct mail solution. I will see you on the next video.